Ladies and gents, I'm back and I've got something cool to show you. So, in the last video, I spoke about certain topics. If you haven't watched that video, this is going to be so strange. But I spoke about how it's important to remain like a child, have a childlike mind, and create your open-mindedness. Because when we go through life, when we go through society, we are always put into a box. And that is called the conventional mind. When we are born and we're young, we have an open mind. Everything's creative, everything is exploring. We're like a sponge, we're learning everything, and we're flexible minded. So as you go on to be a master, you need to have a dimensional mind, which is combining mastery and the skills, traits, and beliefs of mastery, plus a flexible, open mind, like the original mind of a child, and that together is called the dimensional mind. So I spoke about how I do things to remain creative, and I spent the last week building a Lego Bugatti, and this is like more than 1,000 pieces. It took so long, but it's so damn sick. It's got the spoiler, it's got even the pistons inside. Like you can see, it has the steering as well, and then the inside you can see the pistons as I move the wheels. You can see the engine moving. So sick. It's not finished yet. I've probably got like 2 more hours left, but yeah, why do I do that? Watch the old video and you'll see exactly why I believe in it. And it sounds wishy-washy and it kind of sounds like a gimmick, but until you understand deeply the roots of why I'm doing that and why it's important to have that open, flexible mind that is allowing serendipity to come in, that is allowing yourself to make subconscious connections. And when you are slightly profitable, your mind becomes even more rigid, because now you see this is working, this is the only way, and you're not open to alternative views because you're already profitable. And additionally, when you're already getting a level of profitability and you have those beliefs that show you you're doing correct things, the mind will always look to prove itself right, not wrong. So then even if you get something good input coming in, you'll always be defensive and away from it. So it's important on how you frame your mindset. And that's what I spoke about for like 30 minutes in the last video, these candid ones. And today I want to speak about another topic, which is parlaying on from that. I'm going to go deep into what it means to be a master, have a mastermind, and the optimal mindset and way to frame yourself from every consciousness and every way of thinking. Is super important, because the people that were greats, the people that went on to achieve so much stuff, they had a very particular way of being, living, and thinking. And you can't go through life just working hard and expect major breakthroughs and be expecting to pioneer and innovate and really be a master, a top 1%. For that, you need to have a great mind, and a great mind is framed in a certain way. There's that blueprint to success and a great mind, and we don't have to invent it. We just have to follow those that have been before us. I'm going to speak in a long form monologue and speak my mind and speak from my experiences. And this is not the most algorithm friendly. This is not the most whatever. It's not the most dopamine friendly content. That's the other videos. But for this one, I want to speak at length and speak my mind. So here I want to talk about how not everyone is born to be great. And that can be quite an abrasive statement. You can think, well, I'm supposed to be great and I think I can be great, and everybody thinks they are different, and that's the human frame. We think we're the center of the world, and we are selfish beings. So when someone on the internet comes on and says not everyone's born to be great, immediately your guard is up. So let's lower our egos for a sec. Let's take on board everything I'm saying and then make your own decisions. Now, I'm not saying we are not all born equal. We, of course, are all born with equal worth. We are humans, God-given worth. But we are not born equal in actuality. We have different upbringings, DNA, we have different traits. We have different inclinations, we have different predispositions, we have different tendencies and temperaments. All of these things are variable. So it's impossible for society as a whole to be equal in reality, in terms of how we output and how we achieve. Of course, humans are all equal. But the reason I say this is because if you want to be great, you have to understand what it means. You can't just expect everyone's going to be great. Only 1% of people are really great, but everybody thinks they can be great. So the 99% of people that think they can be great but don't achieve it, what are they doing wrong? So we have to actually understand the foundations of that. So to put that into perspective, I think God intentionally modulates society. He doesn't want everyone to be the same, because society would not function. You need to have followers for there to be leaders. If everyone was born a leader, was charismatic, was dominant, was alpha, who's going to follow them? It would just lead to clashes and society would collapse. Something when I was younger, I used to battle so much. Even in my university days, I used to battle was, I'm not a morning person. I hate mornings. And to be honest, the best thing, one of my favorite things about being a full-time trader and not having a job and not having a boss, I've never had a job, I've never had a boss, But when I was in clinics at university, my professors were basically my boss. They could determine my schedule, they could determine my autonomy, determine my freedom. They chose the deadlines, they chose when I could go to the toilet, they chose my success, if I'd pass or fail. And I felt like I hated having my life in other people's hands and people telling me what to do. Now, that's not everybody, but that's what I value the most. I would rather, genuinely, I'd rather have no boss and make 30K a year than have a boss and make 100K a year. I swear. So I'm in a lucky position where I don't have a boss, and the thing that I value the most is not having a damn alarm clock. That sound, the iPhone sound when it's going beep, 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 kills me. And that was my life every day for 6 years, when I had to wake up 7 a.m., go to clinics, it's still dark outside. And by my later years, okay, I had a nice car, I was going to clinic, I had a nice watch on, I felt free, I felt like I was succeeding, but I didn't want to drop out. I still wanted to be in clinics. And I don't want to sound cocky, but like I was earning so much more than any dentist. I was earning more than all of my professors, but I hated the status of like they're on control of me, they're in charge of me, and they're my boss, because they would let me know, they would put me down. And because I was doing well financially and they saw it, they really made my life harder on purpose. They would vent their anger on me, I'll get shouted at for no reason, and I tolerated it all. Now, as I've got older and now I'm full-time the thing I value the most is not having a damn alarm clock. But the reason I mention this is because I fought for years to be a morning person. I would set an early alarm, I'd sleep early, I'd get into biohacking, blue light blockers, red light therapy, Epsom salt bath, all of these tricks I could find to modulate and regulate my sleep pattern. And of course, I was waking up on time for clinics and everything. I was waking up at 7 a.m. every day for like 5 years. But I hated it. And even if I was having 9 hours sleep, I was waking up, my brain would not be awake. I would not be fresh. I would be exhausted by 10 p.m. But to get to 10 p.m., my body's done, I'm ready to fall asleep, and my brain would just come alive. That's when I'd have my ideas. That's when I'd work the best. That's when I'd be most productive. And I was like, what the hell is this? I'll be exhausted and I'll get a second wind. And I was fighting this. I was like, man, I need to regulate my sleeping. Everyone is waking up early. Everyone's doing productive things. People wake up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym. I was like, why am I always awake late? Why do I always end up sleeping at 3 a.m.? Until I looked into it and I realized, I think it's, there's that, what's his name? I think it's Matt, no. There's that guy with blonde hair. He's a sleep scientist. He's something Walker. So I read his book and I watched a few of his podcasts, and he spoke about God has made society in a way, or we've evolved in certain ways where we would be a pretty crappy species if all of us went to sleep at nighttime. Because back in the days, when there's predators and lions and all of these things out, and everybody's asleep at nighttime, we're going to get eaten up. That would be a crappy society. So humans are evolved where and it's actually when you do a demographic analysis, you realize certain people are morning people, and even if you try to adjust it, they are just primed for the morning. Their mind is most alert, they're most productive, they're most energetic, no matter how much sleep they've had. They're most energetic in the morning. Other people are more in the middle of the day, and people like me are in the nighttime. And no matter what I do, it's genetic, it's DNA, and I can't fight it even though I fought it for years. And that's when it makes sense to me. It's like 1/3 of society is morning, 1/3 is middle, 1/3 of society is night. And it makes sense because if everybody was sleeping in the night, we would be killed off. And that is an example of the point I'm trying to make, which is society is given different temperaments. Society is given different inclinations and predispositions. Now what I mean by that is, if everybody, like I said about everybody wanting to be a leader, not everyone can. And in this day and age, society has fooled everyone with Instagram, with social media, that success is like an entrepreneur. It's that person that's be your own boss, have your own freedom, and be the man, be the alpha and all of that. And of course it looks cool on the internet. And you see these G's, Tate, Iman, all of these people, that guys that I've met, they're G's, they're legends, but not everyone could be like them. And they show a certain life which is so cool and you want to emulate it, but they are a subsect of society that not everyone can be. And when you look into their psychology and what kind of people they are, they have an extremely high stress tolerance. They want to achieve more. Even when they've financially done for life, they always crave more. It's in their brain. And of course they're smart people, they're intelligent, they work hard. That's traits that they have, the skills that they have. But that fire inside of them to keep achieving when they're worth millions of dollars and keep pushing the boundary and keep bringing on risk, bringing on stress, bringing on liabilities and leading, it's not for everyone. So why do you see certain people excel and certain people don't? Well, you have to realize, specifically men, it's a God-given, God has modulated society to have a subsect of society that will always prioritize status, money, success, mastery, And that's within them. That's a fire within them. Now, that's not to say not everyone can do that. Or if you're not one of those people that you can't do that. Of course you can. But you have to realize who you are. And that's what I want to talk about today. Is that there's nothing wrong with being second in command. Everybody wants to be the boss. But to be honest, you can, if your temperament is not of a leader, not of a true alpha, that's okay. If you're not someone that's so willing to take on risk and be the last person to take a payment, the last person to take a salary, last person to get fed, if you're willing to do all of that sacrifice family life, sacrifice relationships, sacrifice your health, sacrifice everything for your mission, that's not everyone. But you can be equally as successful as being second in command. If you find that leader and you be his right-hand man, for example, if you become a top C-suite, a CEO, a CFO, a CMO, whatever. If you're one of those high up in a company, you're super skilled, but you work a 9 to 5. There's no risk of salaries and liabilities on you. You get paid at the end of the month. And you can make millions of dollars a year by being very skilled and have no risk. And for certain people, that makes way more sense. You don't have to be the one that's with status at the top. It's your company. No, certain people are okay with achieving success, achieving mastery, providing so much skill to the marketplace and getting financially rewarded, but they don't want to be 100% on that. They value their family, they value relationships, they value love. And society has been split into certain people will love will always be drawn to and prioritize love, family and relationships. Certain people always want to focus on their career. Certain people will want to chase power and status and success, but not everyone. So you have to know who you are, and only you can know. Have that conversation with yourself and think, who am I? And really fire out where your fire is, what your drive is, and what your natural temperament is, because that is God-given, and you can't change that. But that does not mean you're boxed in and now you should only do that. No. The point I'm trying to make is play to your strengths. Know who you are and find opportunities in line with your temperament. Because yes, all of you can go on to be a master level trader. All of you can. Because it just requires skills, traits, and beliefs. If you have the skills, you have the traits of sacrifice, working hard, long hours, studying, mastering your mind. You have the skills. You have the skills of technical analysis and all these things, build a strategy. Anyone can do that. Traits, if you can do, the traits of mastery, success, sacrifice, all of these things, and you break through your limiting beliefs of what's achievable and not, and that's a topic in itself. Anyone can do that. You can do that, I can do that, we can all do that. But what it requires is a level of sacrifice and dedication and commitment and consistency that not everyone is willing, the key word is willing, to do. Everyone can do it, but not everyone is willing to do it, because everybody sees the upside of success, what you can achieve. And when you see it online, it's glamorized. You see these people living the life, private jets, fancy watches, whatever. In fact, I made a post the other day. It's a tangent. I made the post the other day, and I was wearing a blue ceramic AP. It's a 1 of 250. It's super rare. Ceramic APs as a material, ceramic APs are so rare. A perpetual calendar is so rare. A blue one, a perpetual calendar blue and ceramic, is ultra rare, and it goes for about 500k. The aftermarket grey market price is like 5 to 600k, and the market is down right now. And I posted that and I said, look, there's levels to this. People ask me why I don't trade prop firms. It's because I have like a max allocation on a watch. I have multiple 7 figures in watches. I have, I'm on a different level where I don't trade prop firms. But people see the upside and they're like, wow, Wakai is so cool, whatever, and cool, I want to inspire. But you see the glitz and the glamour, you see the trades, you see the track record, you see the signals I'm giving, you see the cool stuff I'm doing. I just gave 1 month of signals. Every single day I publicly called my trades ahead of time, gave it out to the public for people to follow. And people on Twitter were following it. There's a guy that grew his account and sent me the metrics. I posted that in a video. There's another guy that's like, I took all of your signals. Like, it was happening live in time. I gave 25% tracked live ahead of time signals, told you when to take the entry, where the stop loss, when to break even, when to partial. A full month, 25%. I don't know anybody who's done that. The timestamps are there. You can see when I uploaded it. You can see the analysis. You can see the breakdowns. I'm calling it ahead of time. I can't manipulate that. It's more to say you see the cool stuff online. You see the things I might have done or these other people in the online space, the sick things they're doing. But what you don't see, you don't see the sacrifices. You don't see the hard stuff that I can speak on, what I've been through. And I've been through a lot. And I haven't shown it, because those were the years where I wasn't known on the internet. And all of my friends are out. All of my friends are chilling in a restaurant, partying, whatever. And I'm that typical guy that was home alone hours and hours. I've sacrificed relationships, I've sacrificed friendships, I've sacrificed to an extent the relationship with my family for this. And when you reach those hard points, I've moved to another country, man. I'm living in Dubai, and I'm not living with my family again. This for a greater purpose apart from just a nice life. I have a plan, I have a mission. And when you reach those tough points, yes, you can have the skills, you can have the traits, you can have the beliefs, you can put in the work, but you will eventually reach roadblocks that you might not be willing to break through. You can break through, but you might not be willing. You say, okay, I prefer time with my kids, I prefer time with my family. A roadblock you will all reach, and I reached it, and there was a dark period for me that I broke through, was I had my friendship circle when I was in high school. I had my friends. I felt like the man. I was sociable, and I had a big social sphere. And as you grow and as you take more sacrifice, you start to not relate with your friends anymore because they want to do the same things that you used to do. Now you want to be on your mission. Now you want to work on self-improvement. Now you want to focus on your trading, your backtesting, and you immerse yourself into that. And then you deviate away from your friends. Your friends don't understand you anymore. Let me check this is still recording. Yeah. Your friends don't understand you anymore, and you have less in common. And then as time goes on, you don't want to talk about the football, you don't want to talk about the gossip, you don't want to talk about the things you used to talk about. You're no longer interested in going out with them and chilling. You're like, I got stuff to do. And what happens is your friends start to maybe even make comments like, oh, you think you're too good for us? Oh, Mr. Trader over here. Oh, you think you're this, that. I had it. And I had a lot of rumors, especially at university, and it would come back to me, whispers, where people had no idea what I was doing. I made my first million at university, and people thought I was trying to be a trader. And people didn't see it all. They didn't understand it all, and they thought, oh, and I'd hear the whispers. It would come back to me. This guy said, oh, look at Wakari, he's trying to do this. So it comes with hate. And you do distance yourself from your friends, and you enter a period of loneliness. And that's the bridge between you've outgrown your old friends, and you haven't met your new friends. And that bridge in between is a lonely period. And you will find your new friends. There will be people that are just like you, that are on your same mission, that are at the same stage as you, that are hustling, that are ambitious, that want to make this work. But they maybe are online, they may be not in your city, so it's hard to find them. And that's a whole topic on how you find your tribe, your people. Because when you have that brotherhood, man, I'm living in Dubai with my boys, and I don't want to live alone. I don't want to live with anyone else but my boys, because we have a brotherhood, we have a bond. We come up together, we grew together, we suffered, we challenged each other. Like, the brotherhood is a masculine essence. Hey ladies and gents, if you've enjoyed content from me and you want to see more from me, more intimate content from me, I'm going to be starting a free Instagram account, but it's going to be private, and therefore you have to request to follow. My team will only accept real accounts, so it's an anonymous account or whatever. I'm not interested. Real people, real accounts. Request that account. We'll only let in a few people per week, and I'm going to do regular Q&As in there. I'm going to talk to you guys, Instagram lives. I'm going to give out trades, all of these things. So if you're interested in that, find the link somewhere below to my private Instagram, and hopefully my team accepts you, and I'll see you on the other side. Because we have a brotherhood, we have a bond. We come up together, we grew together, we suffered, we challenged each other. Like, the brotherhood is a masculine essence. But when you outgrow your friends, you feel like you want to bring them up. And I tried. All my inner circle from uni days, I tried to tell them, I get into trading, I tried to teach them, I tried to show them, and they were just not interested. And the reality is, it's not your job to bring up your friends. You keep growing, and if your friends can't keep up with your growth, they'll drop off. And that's on them. You don't have to carry anyone. But you'll face a period of loneliness, and everybody in their journey to success outgrows the old friends, hasn't found their new friends, super lonely. You're a lone wolf, and you don't know why you're doing it, and you're struggling, you're lonely, you're questioning yourself, especially if you're not having breakthroughs. You think, I've isolated myself, I've got no success, maybe I'm being ridiculed, people are making comments, and I've got nothing to show for it, I have no success. You're just trying to trust the process. And when you reach that point, a lot of people give up. They retreat back to their comfort zone. They're like, okay, let me take the foot off the gas. They start chilling with their friends again. They feel that rejection, and they're like, oh, my ego is hurt, let me go back to my friends. And you were on the path to success, and you just give up. And that's not to say not everyone can be great. Everyone can be great, but not everyone in society will sacrifice and do what it takes to be great. And that's how God has modulated society. Everyone can be great, but not everyone will be great, because not everyone has the mindset, and that's God-given. And if it's not God-given for you, understand that and realize the extra effort you have to put in to fight who you are. That's not a negative thing. It's the harsh truth. I'm sure not everybody wants to hear that, but if you know you're not a born leader, you know that. If you're not a born alpha, if you're not the one that walks into the room and everyone looks at you and you know you're leading the conversation, that's not the centerpiece of success. You can be a killer in life and not be a leader. But you have to realize, okay, I'm not a leader. I'm not an alpha. That's okay. And, in a group, in a pack, there's only one alpha. The rest are followers, and that's okay. Just know who you are and play to your strengths, and know where your advantages and skills are, and know where your pitfalls are, and work to improve them. That's totally okay. That's a tweet I made the other day, and it did get a bit of resistance because people took it wrong of like, everyone's equal, everyone can achieve anything, and of course, we're all born equal. But I will never be a 6'7" Nigerian. I will never have that athletic, I will never have that muscular, whatever, all of that. I will never compete with an NBA, even if I train as hard and I do everything. I will never make it to the NBA. I'm not a giant African. I will never be as funny as Kevin Hart. I'll never be naturally as gifted as Messi. I will never be as naturally intelligent as Einstein. I won't have the same IQ. But I can still achieve success in my domain. What success means to me, as long as I know how I work to my strengths and weaknesses and what my mission is, and as long as I can control my skills, traits, and beliefs. That's all we have, skills, traits, and beliefs. Everything else we have to manage. That was one topic I want to speak on today. Another topic that came to mind, and it was through my Twitter, was why I'm doing this. Why am I putting myself on the internet? Like, I've achieved a lot of success at my young age. Again, not to brag or anything, it's just I want to speak openly. And with that comes a lot of questions of like, why are you putting yourself online? Why are you putting these videos out there? Why are you doing stuff like this? And you saw, if you followed me for a while, I did the whole online thing. I grew a lot very quick, and I gave up completely. I thought I was above it. I didn't enjoy it. I felt like I was a slave to algorithm, and as I just told you, I hated people telling me what to do. The number one thing for me is my freedom and autonomy. At the moment I felt like a slave to the algorithm, I gave up. I was like, screw this, I don't need it. And I thought I'm above content. And then I listened to Alex Hormozi. And he's super wealthy, super successful, much more knowledgeable than I am. And he exited his business for 100 mil. And he was not known on the internet. And he spoke to people around him, and they were putting themselves online and making a personal brand. And he asked them, there's negatives. You get spotted, you don't have privacy. And those people replied to him and said, if that's the sacrifice I have to make to have the impact I want, to create a legacy I want, to grow as big as I want, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And then you look around and you realize Alex Hormozi is much smarter and has a much better entrepreneurial spirit and has a much better business acumen than Kylie Jenner, than Dwayne Johnson, than Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor sold for 600 million. The Rock became a billionaire. Kylie Jenner is a billionaire. But it's not because of their business acumen, entrepreneurial spirit, their knowledge and IQ and all of that. No, they had a world-class team and they had a world-class personal brand. Look at it. Who has more followers, Elon Musk or Tesla? Elon Musk is a personal brand, and that carries Tesla, who's a super CEO. Jeff Bezos, who has more followers, Amazon or Jeff Bezos? Who has more followers, Tim Cook or Steve Jobs? Tim Cook or Apple? Look at it on Instagram. Who's more known? We're in the day and age of digital. It's a digital economy. We're in the day and age of personal brand. And that's the way to grow an empire. And I don't know my empire yet. I'm growing a podcast. I'm putting more than $10K a month into my podcast with producer, studio, team of editors, all of that stuff. It's costing me a lot. I'm not making any money, and I won't make money for a while. But I know that if I have 1 million people that follow me and listen to me every single week and rock with me, they're my people, they're my tribe, they understand me. People watch Joe Rogan for Joe Rogan. That's a personal brand. I want something like that because I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I haven't even reverse engineered anything. I just know it's worth being a name online, being known, being respected, and finding your people, finding your niche, because that is power. That is leveraged power like no other. And when I later on want to utilize that, I can do it in any way that I want. And I'll do it in a way that creates a global impact, serves people, brings value, and in return grows for me. And that's how you want to do things. So again, I'm free from outcome, but I believe in leveraged opportunities. There's only two things that come to mind that are leveraged opportunities. And that's why I've chosen my life path. I could have had a very comfortable life as a dentist. I could make 150K a year like my friends are, no problem, make a good salary, live a good life, be qualified, be respected. I took big risks in my life. I became a doctor, I graduated and left it all because I wanted to do more. And I feel like I have that fire inside of me. I have the skills, traits, and beliefs, and have a mindset and a mission and a drive, and I'm willing to sacrifice for it. And that's my journey. The two leverage things we have in life that are the best opportunities in my belief are trading and personal brand. Trading because you have leverage in the opportunity. I can take the same trades today and take the same trades in 10 years. The trades I take today, that 1 to 10 risk reward, it might make me 50K, 20K. But in 10 years, that will make me $1 million in one trade. The same trade, the same analysis, because your account size grows. That's leverage. That's a leverage opportunity. With the same input, your output grows over time. That is power. That is the route to wealth. That is a true success opportunity. The other one is personal brand. I can upload this video today and get 10, 20K views or whatever views I get. I'm not getting that many at the moment. I'm growing, but I'm still new to content. But I know if I keep doing this, I keep providing value, I give more than I take, I help people, I impact people, I give value, and I put myself out there, and I find people that rock with me. If you're watching a video like this, where there's no animations, no edit, no studio, and you're willing to listen to me for 30 minutes every week, I'm finding my tribe, I'm finding my people that resonate with me. If you're watching me and you resonate with me, it means you're like me. And we have an online connection, and I want to build that, because as that grows, right now I'm reaching 10, 20K people. But in a few years, I'll reach 1 million people. The same input of one video leads to a greater output of more people. And when you have a bigger account and a bigger audience, that is leverage. And that is where I should put my time, because the same effort leads to a greater output. Compound effect. That's the reason I'm doing this. And I'm happy to give selflessly with a selfish return. I do have a selfish return in the end. I'm not going to say like I'm this like, what do you call it, philanthropic or here savant to save the world. No. I have my selfish goals. I'm driven by success. I want to achieve. But I know that the more you provide to the world, the people that, money is a scoreboard. And the scoreboard is to keep track of who provided more value. Not everyone can be eating lavish in a restaurant. You need waiters. Not everyone can be in mansions. You need someone that builds it. Okay? Not everyone is meant to be a 1%er. Not everyone is going to achieve success. And that's okay. That makes it better for the people that are willing to do it, because there's less people at the top. You just got to put the sacrifices in that others are not willing to do. Take the risks, take the chances, put the work in that others will not do, so you can enjoy what others cannot have. That's what drives me. It's not about money. I've got a good amount of money. I'm good for life. But I want to build. I could chill. I could chill on a beach and take a step back. I could go back to being a dentist. I could have whatever. But I'm driven by a different cause. I'm driven in a different way. I'm willing to push further than most. That's why I do this. I want to achieve so much, and I'm willing to work for it. And I want to ask you, what's yours? What's your why? What's your drive? What pushes you? Are you willing to sacrifice more than others? Are you willing to go further than others? Because if you want more than others, you sure as hell have to do more than others. And that's not everyone. So find out, are you that person? And if you're not, realize the extra steps you have to take. And that's okay. You work harder than others, that's okay. As long as you know it's in your control. Everything is in your control. And everything I'm going to achieve in life is in my control. As long as I put the right steps forward, the right foundation, and keep chipping away at it, and I'm free from outcome. I don't know where these things are going to go. I don't know how big this is going to be, but I'm going to keep chipping away at it. I'm going to keep doing the things I need to do, and I'll look back in 10 years. You know, you keep your head down, you keep focused, and just look up once in a while. But keep putting in that work. That's truly what drives me. And I know that the people that win and grow big in this day and age, in 2023, 2024, the people that go big and really achieve huge success are the people that give and give without asking, and do that for a long-term horizon. The person that gives for a month and asks, they might make 1,000. The person that gives and asks after a year, they'll make a couple $100,000. The person that gives value and helps people and changes people's lives for a decade without asking for anything in return, just keeps giving, keeps helping, keeps impacting, keeps sharing, keeps providing value to the marketplace. Money is a scoreboard for value. If you do selflessly give to people for 10 years and then ask big at the end of 10 years, when you got 1 million people rocking with you that thank you for changing their lives, and then you ask after 10 years, you'll be a billionaire. That's the game. That's the game. I want to give, I want to build, I want to grow, I want to help people, and in the end I will win too. But I'll have a tribe of people that rock with me, that resonate with me, that say, Waqar, help me. That's a mission. That's something worth achieving in life. Why am I going to chill? What am I going to chill for? That's something worth doing, and I'm willing to sacrifice, I'm willing to put work in for it. Even though I've achieved a good amount already, I'm willing to do more. So this video, in a roundabout way, is talking about my mission, what I want to do and how I want to do it. So as we come to the end of the year, have that same conversation with yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve? For you, love and family and relationship is your number one, that's your domain. Go crush it. Be the best father. Be the best mother. Be the best family person. Give it all to your kids. If that's you and that's in your core essence, if that's God-given in your predisposition, do that. If you want to achieve success financially, go and get that. Know what success is to you. Know what's important to you. And know what you're willing to sacrifice for it. And then go all in. Go all in. That's what life's about. But yeah, ladies and gents, I'm rambling on. It's been 30 minutes, so yeah, I'm going to leave it here today. Thank you again for tuning in for one of these long, candid videos where I just love to talk and share my mind, share my thoughts. And if you watch throughout and listen to me, you're a G. You're my tribe, you're my people, and I'm going to make sure you guys come up with me. Take care, ladies and gents.